Alright, so in this problem, they've asked you to first find the product. So I'm going to multiply x minus 6. And I chose to write x minus 6 here on the left side because this is a binomial. 1, 2. There's two terms. And this one is a trinomial. 2x squared minus 3x plus 1. Again, that last one has 3 boxes going across because there's 3 terms. So each term gets a box. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to multiply first, and then we're going to add and then combine like terms. Class, x times 2x squared. 2x to the third, or cubed. X times negative 3x. X times 1. X or 1x. Negative 6 times 2x squared. Negative 6 times negative 3x. And negative 6 times 1. So I've just multiplied, and now I'm going to add or combine like terms. Notice these have both an x squared, so I'm going to write this in descending order. 2x to the third minus 12x squared minus 3x squared. And then these. Notice how it's a positive because there's no negative. And then I can just go back and combine like terms. 2x to the third. I'm just adding the numbers in front. So that becomes a negative 15x squared. These are like terms, so that's a 1. So 1 plus 18 is 19x. And then minus 6. As a review, this first binomial is linear. It's linear because the highest degree in this parentheses is the power of 1. Class, if this one has a power of 2, that's called a what? Class, it has the power of 2. What is that called? What function family? We've spent 60 days talking about quadratics. So when I multiply a linear times a quadratic, class, what's the highest power? A 3, and we get a cubic. So now our new function family is called cubic. Then graphically, verify graphically that the expressions are equivalent. So if I draw a graph, show you guys a trick how to graph it. So I'm using a graphing calculator. If you don't have one, you can use Desmos. On the home screen, I'm going to press y equals here on the top left. I'm going to input my function. You can do two things. You can, to verify it, you can put in x minus 6. Now, when it tells me 2x squared, so I'm going to press 2, and then the x squared is just x times x. It's really fast, just put in x and x. Minus 3 times x plus 1. And then I'm actually going to go down to the second line. I'm going to type in our answer, 2x to the third minus 15x squared plus 19x minus 6. And the reason why I'm putting both of these is because we're trying to show that they're equivalent. If they're equivalent, it'll be the same exact graph. If they're not equivalent, I'll have two separate graphs, or something's going to be slightly different. So when I press the word graph, we'll go to zoom 6. There's the blue. It's still thinking because that's circle, and there you can see that the red is going over. So same exact. Now some of you guys need help changing the window. So when I press zoom and then I press standard, that means it's a 10 by 10 window. It's negative 10 on the x-axis, positive 10 as my max, negative 10 on the y, and a y-max of positive 10. So yours, if you're using Desmos, you're pressing the wrench. For mine, I'm going to press window. And notice in my graph, I don't need all these negative numbers. So I can probably go to about maybe x equals a negative 2. And I want to see on my graph the maximums and the minimums. So I need to go higher and I need to go lower. So I need to increase my y values. Still thinking. Let's go to negative 50, positive 50, and we'll count by tens. I think I messed up. I need some more x values. Because right now it looks kind of like a weird parabola. Do you see that? So I need to change it where I actually see 2 bumps. What did I do? That should be negative 2. There it is. So notice this is a relative max and this is a relative minimum. Let's go ahead and sketch that. Notice how this one does not go through. Like this. What's important is you notice at this point here, it just touches the x-axis, and this one actually goes through the x-axis. So that's how you multiply and then also show that they're equivalent expressions.